Computer. Okay, great. All right. So, okay, let's start off with the opening mantras. How does that sound? Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Om Suklam Baradaram Vishnum Sashivarnam Chatur Bhujam Prasana Vadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vignopashantaye. Om Bhur Suvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. So, yeah, so as I was saying before, the spiritual path is really it's challenging. And I know most of you guys have been meditating for a while. There are times where it gets really intense, irritable, impatient, you lose faith, um, and then you don't know what to do next in your process to really take you to the next level. And so the reason why we have these power journeys is because they are designed to give an infusion of the energy and the power of your spirituality condensed. And that was my experience having organized many power journeys to India for Kalashwar. Um, and we used to take trips to India, and he always used to coordinate with me, like, how are we doing with the trip? What's going on? Are you going to this place? Make sure you visit this part of the temple. Talk to this person, organize it. And so uh, I was always intimately involved with power journeys and power spots. It just was part of my dharma. And I understood power spots. I understood the mechanism of power spots. You know, that's why the temple in Los Angeles, when people come there, it's kind of like the vibrations are so strong. People have easy time to meditate and to turn within. And the energy is very intense. So I understand because Sri Kalshwar, he really trained me to understand the mechanisms of power spots, power objects, and how to leverage that in your spiritual path in order to go deeper. And when you go to these power spots, um, they are like a magnet in the sense that they rejuvenate you, but they also pull out a lot of the shit that's going on in your life and a lot of the blockages. So I remember my one of my trips in 2016, no, 2018. We went and visited a Kalahasti, and it's an amazing temple. It's got one of the most powerful Shiva lingams on the planet. It's one of the Jyotirlingams that's there, plus a few other power objects that most of the time people ignore. And by the end of the time that we finished our time there, all of a sudden we were about to leave, and all of a sudden one of the participants does a full stretched out pranam on the floor. We were a group of about 8 people, and we didn't know what happened. I mean, they called me and said, "Paul, you got to come and see this person. Something's happening." I went there and looked, and she was like full pranam, like on the floor like this. And um, I kid you not, I thought, okay, where am I going to get the paramedics to come here and help to revive her? Oh shit, we're in India. They don't have paramedics by the time they get there, and so it's not like 911. All of a sudden, it's like the person's having a some physical, thing going on. So, we just kind of stood there for a minute. I said, "You okay?" And, she kind of gathered herself, and uh, she was crying. She was emotional. She couldn't really talk. And then, as she started to come back to consciousness, she says, "Everything is one. Everything has got love pouring out of it. Everything is so beautiful. I feel one with the pillars. I feel I feel so much love from the pillars. Wow." And I said, "Okay." And you got to understand, this is in a temple in India, and we're a bunch of white people, Westerners, and we stand out like, the Indians are going, "What's going on with these guys?" I'm like going, "Okay, did she sign the liability form? Is what are we gonna do here?" And as she, with my meditations, I quickly realized, okay, she's having an opening, like a consciousness awakening and experience, and we just need to support that person in that moment. And then, okay, great, breathe here, drink some water. Water's good. Doing mantras just to calm the energy down a little bit without interfering. And then it's okay, I'm good. I just have so much love for everyone here. Thank you so much. I mean, it's I've never experienced before where all of a sudden her heart chakra just kind of burst open, and then the kundalini went to her crown chakra and just like went woo like that. It's kind of like, okay, let's go have lunch. Let's get grounded. And let's kind of like stay in our body. Let's make sure that you don't leave your body, because when you have that type of experience, you don't want to stay here. You just want to leave. It's like, wow, this is not the place I want to be. So, and she shared later on, we went and we had lunch, and she shared, and she said, "I just felt so much love and expansion, and the energy just was overwhelming. And I just felt so much gratitude. I had to pranam." So that's kind of like one extreme. And then you have the other extreme where people are having temper tantrums, uh, and just all their emotions and their traumas and their blockages start coming up. And then when you're in a group environment, it's our job to manage that. And so I've had people, right before going into temple, have like literal temper tantrums. Like, all of a sudden they went from 38-year-old woman to a 9-year-old girl. Like, "I hate you guys. You guys are not being nice to me, and you guys are like that." It's like, that's the way the energy works. And so on these power journeys, it's I've told certain people, "Oh, you can't come on a power journey because you have to understand that it's a process, and it happens when you register in advance that you're invoking the energy and the saints that are associated to the places that you're going to be going to. You're invoking that energy, and that energy just immediately starts descending upon you. It's like all of a sudden, it's like boom, the minute you buy your ticket, the minute you put down your deposit, it's like the energy starts working on you, whether you like it or not. Because and then you're on this journey because you've made that step towards the divine to go deeper in your process and your meditation, and the universe will respond to that. The universe will start showing you things, and these journeys that I've done for the last 7-8 years, and even during the time with Kalishwar, we I am acutely aware that it's a process, and when you are working with a group of people in a process, it's really important to share. It's really important to that the group be supportive of everybody. In fact, what we do on a monthly basis going into the uh, journey process is we're given mantras before. We have satsangs on a monthly basis, like 2 to 3 times a month, where we become a really solid group, because within that group comes a lot of knowledge, comes a lot of insights, comes a lot of um, sharing and bonding, because that's what a group is. It's about melting your energies together so that the power of a group can be leveraged into your meditation process. So it's not just about the 2.5 weeks that you go to India, it's about preparing in advance, going through the knowledge. And this particular power journey is going to be during Guru Purnima, because it is the most powerful time to touch a power spot or to create a power spot. B, the pandemic hopefully will be the past and will be gone beyond that restriction. And then C, it's a great time of the year to go. You know, the July time is the summertime, and people go on vacation and they take time off and so on and so forth. So my experience is that it's a very powerful time. In fact, it's the most powerful time during the whole year, because it's dedicated to the relationship between yourself, your soul, and the inner guru. And that's really the one of the most important relationships, because it's the relationship with yourself, your higher consciousness, and it's about establishing a strong connection to that inner intuitive source of knowledge, wisdom, and insight, protection, and eventually liberation, to be very frank with you. So we're doing this from the 17th to the 24th, I think. Yeah. And it is, oh, yes, Susie.
It's the 7th, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
7th of July till I believe the 24th. And the 23rd is Guru Purnima peak. So it is, and usually after Guru Purnima, they do a Mother Divine Abhishek in the ashram, and the last 5 days of this journey will be at the Kaleshwar ashram in Penakonda, which is in Andhra Pradesh. And the reason why we're doing 5 days, because there are several places that I want to take you within Penakonda that will really be really profound. And I know a lot of you have been to Penakonda. I guarantee you there are places within Penakonda that you haven't been. Because when I was on the trust, the board of directors, board of trustees at the ashram, I was the person responsible for taking people to certain places. And I have an intimate relationship with the people that manage some of the temples and some of the places that we'll go to. For example, we'll be going to top of the mountain, but we'll be going to a specific place, which is really the I consider like the pinnacle or the power spot of the mountain, and it is one of the most powerful places to sit and meditate. And these are not going to be unstructured meditations. From the beginning of the course, from the beginning of the process through Guru Purnima, we'll have structured a specific intention and outcome and a group process that will be designed to awaken and open up certain things within us. So this is a spiritual journey. It's not a tourist journey. And there are going to be places that we will go that are places that have tremendous power. There's no other way to say it. You know, like when we go to Tirupati, that is the second most visited spot on the planet, second to only the Vatican. And literally every month, over 1 million people visit that temple. And it is, every time I've gone there, they have embraced us and our group and the people that we bring, and we get a lot of amazing treatment when we go there. I know a lot of the priests that are there, and and I know um, the upper management that's there, and so they really welcome and they really appreciate when the Westerners come there. And we will talk about what makes the power of that place so transformative. And I mean transformative because when you have intention meets power, what happens is that there's an alchemy that happens. That's why power spots are so amazing to visit, because it's not just the vibrations, but it's a melting of the divine cosmic energy that's there, plus your soul, because it touches you on a very, very deep level, even if you don't want it to. You can be really like hard as a rock, and that energy will melt you. I mean, look at me. I was hard as a rock going in there. I didn't have experiences. I didn't have things, but I leveraged going to these power spots in such a way that I used the energy to cooperate with my spiritual development. I literally asked the cosmic energy there, I need help with this area of my spiritual development, whether it be blockage, whether it be lack of understanding, whether it be able to learn how to work with the energy better in order to help serve the people that I work with. So, okay, that's a good segue to ask if there's any questions. Come on, Susie, I know you have a question. What's your top number one question?
God, I feel like I got all my questions out already when I talked to you. And you answered all the questions. I mean, just talking about your journey, that just resonates with me because in fact, though, the differences are I wasn't with Kalishwar. I didn't witness any miracles. I have not witnessed any miracles. And I am just plugging along, doing my best in whatever it is that I need to be doing now. I don't feel I'm not having all these phenomenal experiences like a lot of people do, but I'm just going to keep going. And I have an interest in going on this trip because it intrigues me. I really want to experience Tirupati, and I really want to go to Shirdi and see where Baba is from. I don't know what that will do for me, but I have to go in with no expectation and just see what happens.
Right, right.
So that's not really a question. That's just
You're
me
just sharing.
talking.
Yeah, I
But
get
yeah.
it. So my experience, that's great, and I really appreciate that because I find that Swami Kalishwar said that spirituality is three things: faith, because faith is handing over trust to something you can't see or feel or experience in the moment, but you know it's there, but you are handing over trust to some higher source of energy. And then literally you're begging and pleading for help. Swami said that. He said, in spirituality, you have to beg the divine. And you have to really plead with the divine. Um, And it's really, hi Nadine, welcome. We want to see your face, Nadine. Are you there? Okay. So with the divine, literally Swami Kalashwar would say, you need to fall in love with the divine. You need to beg the divine. You need to request from the divine. And really, it's that yearning in your heart. And believe me, I was yearning so much that it hurt. And that is spirituality. You know, you're I go into our temple, and I literally, if I'm contemplating on something, and I need Baba's help, I'm literally begging Baba, I need help. I need you to remove this veil. I need you to handle this energy. I need you to show me something. I mean, it's like a constant thing. So Susie, this is not going to stop. This is going to get more intense over time. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that you're developing something within your heart, a muscle in your heart. And spirituality is about the heart chakra. It really, 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 really is. You know, you could talk about the mental stuff. You can talk. You talk about uh, the concepts. You can talk about the processes, and you can do a million japa. If you don't have the power of the heart chakra, which is linked, this is a very beautiful point here. If you don't have the heart chakra, you don't have the support of the earth element. If you don't have the support of the earth element, you don't have the connection with the guru. If you don't have the connection to the guru, you don't have a strong connection to your third eye and your Brahma consciousness. So if you think about it, spirituality is about aligning all your chakras and all the blockages that come along with each one of those chakras. And each chakra has its own blockages, like your Kama chakra, your womb chakra. If you don't have a strong womb chakra, your Kama chakra, which is your desires, your unfulfilled desires, and your past impressions, will dominate. And similarly, if your heart, you know, that's why Swami talked about the heart. He talked about how important it is for us to heal heartbreak. In so many of his uh, systems, womb chakra, Kala chakra, the 5 elements, in each one of those, he talks about the importance of healing heartbreak. Why? Because without the power of the heart chakra, and it really is one of the most important power centers, you cannot allow your soul to really do the things that we want to do, like soul travel or Prakaya Pravesh or whatever it is. So that's why Swami really focused a lot on, hey, how are you feeling, and what is your heart telling you? And he also said, follow your heart, which meant that, are you in touch with your heart? Because when you communicate to the divine, it's not always going to be a verbal, thing, but it's going to be from your heart. It's going to be from your heart to your consciousness and pulling that divine energy in. Yes.
So, to get the most out of this journey, your heart needs to be open, right?
Okay. You have to be committed to opening your heart. You have to have that commitment. I may not have my heart open, but at least I am putting my intention to open my heart to the divine. And then, like every relationship, it's a give and take. You put into the creation. You give it to a divine soul, and then you say, show me the power of the heart and show me how I can open my heart more. See, I know what you're saying, because what you're saying is that, well, what if I don't have such an open heart? You know, what if my heart's closed? You don't think my heart was closed early on? It was like there were so many layers on top of it, but I didn't know how to. Okay, everybody else has got an open heart. Everyone's doing great. Everyone's having experiences. What about me? You know, why am I so blocked? First step was to recognize I have a place in me which is stuck and it's painful. It's painful, period. End of story. Spirituality, that's where the rubber meets the road. And I had to be real with myself. I had to be truthful with myself. Who I am now, completely different person. Why? Because I really committed myself to understand what the secrets of the heart was. Why is it so important to connect to a soulmate? Why is it so connect to Mother Divine? I mean, I had all these expectations. Okay, Mother Divine would come and she would open my heart for me. Didn't work out that way. I needed to open my heart first, then she would come. You follow me? It's really taking charge of spirituality in your life in a very masterful way. You know, we all expect our heart to be open from the outside in, right? One part, the greatness about Swami Kaleshwar was that his heart was always open. So when we were around him, our hearts opened ourselves. Like, wow, being around the sun is like amazing. He would laugh. He would break bread with us. We would go on journeys together. I mean, it was just like amazing. It was like a wonderland being with a saint. It's like I felt like I was with Jesus. I felt like I was literally walking with Jesus. That here's this guy that I could talk to and relate with, that he had a sense of humor, and he was the embodiment of this love vibration, and it made all of us feel great. But the key here was that he wanted the same thing for us, and he saw how blocked we were. And he was very compassionate, and at times he would hit us over the head and he would squeeze us. You know, a lot of times during courses and stuff like that, he would ask people to stand up and talk about, their secret love life that they had. You know, like I remember he did this with Jonathan in the middle of the whole group to show Jonathan something that he wasn't aware of that was blocking his spiritual development. And that's why, this is not just a journey to go and visit, get something, come back. It's about transformation. Because if you don't come back a different person or more of really who you are, you will not have fulfilled the opportunity of going on this journey. So it's a really big deal. It's about learning how to really shift and transform. You can't do that through bhajans so easily. You can't do it through yoga. You can't do it through all these like sound baths and all these like stuff. You need to access the power within you, and you need to use a thorn to take out the thorn, and so that you can uh, uh, take back your power. Take back your power. How's that? Any other questions? I mean, this is bottom line stuff. I mean, these courses are these journeys are very, very, very intense. And there's the bliss on one side, and then there is the 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 pain that comes from growth. But we're all in it together. That's a good part of it. We bring a lot of tissue paper for people to blow their nose and to cry. And we've got one shoulder and two shoulder in case anybody needs it. And that's basically it. That's spirituality in a nutshell. And through meditation, it's going to release. It's going to unveil and release and to open up you to different possibilities. So, anybody else have any questions? Hey Nadine, you coming to India with us in July? Can't hear you. We have to unmute you. Let's see. Ask to unmute. I can't. Hope so. Okay. That was her response. Okay. Questions, anybody? If Baba and Swami wants me to come, my heart is open. Okay. So there is a saying in spirituality, specifically what Baba used to say, you take one step towards him, he'll take 9 steps to you, which means that you really have to put forth effort. There is no magic wand that you have to wave to make it happen. You really have to set your intention and then allow the energy of the divine to help you with make that process happen. So you have to take the first step. I mean, for me, it was like he came here. Kalashwar came here in 1997, and when I met him in December, he said, "Are you coming to India?" I said, "Yeah, but I have a business, and I don't have the money and this and that, all the mental chatter and consideration because." Taking a step like that makes you fearful. It's like, oh my God, I've got responsibilities. I don't have enough money. I don't have the time, this and that. Forget it. So he put his sankalpam, his intention on me. He says, no, you should come. Do whatever it takes. And I wound up selling a bunch of inventory that I had, getting some money so I could buy the ticket. And I also, he also invited me to do a special process fire puja in Hampi that year in February of 1998, which was my first year to go to Penakunda and to really kind of spend time. And that was the year that he took yoga samadhi and he birthed the lingam. Actually, he birthed the lingam, and that was in Hampi. And that was the most amazing experience I had ever encountered. And it was the places that we went to, which was so amazing. I mean, India and some of these power spots are just off the charts. And we went to Shirdi. We took a bus to Shirdi, and that's when I really developed a very close relationship with him. He really he'd love to get massages, like on his shoulders and his feet. And because I had such strong hands, he said, "Paul, can you do?" He said, he sensed that I had really strong hands, so I used to kind of massage his feet and stuff like that. And that was just amazing to be able to massage a saint's feet is quite an experience. It's like, whoa, that all that energy just comes. And it really taught me a lot about spirituality, about what's possible. But I also had to do the work. I had to do the meditations, I had to do the mantras, I had to do the processes. So, so Nadine, you have to just put your intention and tell Baba, I'm going to put $100 a month aside for this trip. The cost of the trip is $3,500, and that covers all your expenses, hotels. It doesn't cover your miscellaneous expenditures, but it covers most of your meals. It covers your hotels. It covers the course fees for Penakonda, for Guru Purnima, and your airfare will be separate. So you have to figure out from Denmark how much it costs, from Germany how much it costs, from California how much it costs, and add that in. But luckily, airfares are really cheap these days. I mean, there's a blessing and a curse to every COVID-19, right? So Susie asked, I do have a question about deposit for this trip, when it's due, and how it will work if the pandemic continues. Well, if the pandemic continues and we have to cancel cancel the trip, you get a full refund. Period. End of story. I would suggest you get insurance on your airlines in case um, the airlines cancel or say that you can't travel or something like that. But wherever there's a will, there's a way. And I would not have put this out unless some divine inspiration told me you should have a power journey to India. You need to come to India. So it just means that we'll just have to deal with it. I'm not. I understand the issues with finances and stuff like that. Just I would just take the precaution, but the main thing is take your fear out of the equation. Jump into the ocean, put a small deposit, knowing that if worst case scenario you can't do it, you're committed. You've got your intention in the game, because once you put your intention in the game, then the divine will start communicating to you. It'll start helping you. It'll start moving the obstacles, and it'll start presenting you with the ways that you need to go in order to get there. It's a very exciting process because all these things will start happening. The minute you put your intention down and you put a deposit into it, boom. Most airlines are letting you cancel with no fees now due to the pandemic, I think. Yes, that's something that you'll have to talk to your airlines about, saying, I'm thinking about going July 1st to go to India. What is your policy now? And get an answer from them in writing that says, if there's still a pandemic and there's an issue with health, we will refund you. And then that's the way to approach it. Be like a warrior. This is about approaching your spiritual life with real enthusiasm, inspiration, and a do or die type of attitude. Like, I'm going to do this. You think that I really want to go to India during July? I mean, I'd love to, but it's like it's so much easier just to stay here and just kind of manage the temple and do my work here and make money and this and that. Okay. Life is short. Life is, time is ticking very fast. If we haven't noticed it, it seems like time has accelerated by at least 25%. It just seems to be going faster and faster. And before you know it, it's over. Any other questions?
Yes. How much of a deposit would you like, and when would you like it by?
I would say 50% deposit, and then the balance probably by, let's see, so July, June, by May.
So when do you want the initial deposit?
Before Shivaratri. Shivaratri is in March, end of February. So let's say by the end of February. That gives people enough time. It's really not about the money. It's about putting into creation your intention and making that transfer of energy that the universe is no different from the guru. The guru responds back like, wow, okay, great. That's the way the universe works. You put it into the creation, then the creation comes back to you. Just wait and see. And then we'll start doing satsangs once we have a certain core number of people that are there. We'll start having satsangs every month to discuss how to prepare, what to expect, what we'll need, where we're going, why we're going. You know, people say, okay, we're going here, but why are we going there? What's the energy that's there? Why Trupati? You know, is Trupati so important? Why is it important? How powerful is it? Why is it powerful? What are the power objects that are there? What will we do when we're there? Will we have time to meditate? Stuff like that. And I guarantee you, this Guru Purnima will be pretty phenomenal because, you know, there's a lot happening on the planet. So we are part of that evolution and that transformation that's happening globally. And so I have found lately I'm more energized than anything else that to really move forward with myself and my spiritual development. And, you know, it's going to manifest. So whether you put down, you know, I understand some people have financial constraints and they need to be able to, if anybody has serious considerations that they want to talk to me, we can talk about it. But if you feel like you want to be part of this, you have to put a commitment in physical form that saying, okay, I need the universe. And then what we'll do is as a group, we'll help each other with our intentions to help create the circumstances that will be even more supportive. Does that make sense to you guys? Because if you do things by yourself, you know, you can get somewhere. But if you have a group intention to be that's supportive and empowering each other to get through whatever it is. And I know everyone's got financial consideration. Okay. I guarantee you prosperity is possible. I came from India in 2012, $20,000 in debt and no place to live. I was sleeping on the floor of my mother's 2-bedroom apartment in Los Angeles. And then I took the energy that I had received. I said, if this is a real path of power and transformation, I need to manifest that into the creation. And I set my intention and I set it up with processes and practices that helped me. You know, I started taking my Baba statue and doing Abhishek every day, every single day, and putting my Sankalpam. It was crazy. I would take my statue, put it in the sink in my mom's kitchen, take water when she was not around, taking milk, taking rose water, taking more water, saying, Baba, I need some help. Baba, I need your energy. Baba, I'm having this issue. Baba, I'm going crazy. Baba, she's on the 14th floor. I don't want to jump off the balcony. Come on, help me. That's what I mean by really, I mean, obviously I wouldn't jump off, but you know, sometimes it gets really intense. It's like, oh my God, you know, it's like giving birth. There's only one exit in, there's no exit out. So you have to go through it. But when you invoke the universe and the guru principle to help you, they come through, but they need to test you and me to say, okay, well, is this guy really, is he really committed to personal transformation? Okay. And then Baba would like, boop, little open, then boop, little open, then boop, you know. And I was able to not only transform my life, but I had enrolled people to help me and I helped them and I flipped it. And then in 2013, we purchased a property, which is now the Shirdi Sai Temple, half an acre, 3 buildings. Baba statue, Mother Divine statue, Hanuman statue, Ganesh statue. It's because I use the techniques and the relationship to get what I needed to do for personal transformation. Sorry, I'm so intense, but that's just the reality. I mean, it really requires a lot of intention plus, relying on the group helps a lot, because we're going to be on this journey together. So we have to work together in order to be able to have it uh, get the maximum benefits from it. Okay. Any other questions you guys have about the trip, about the amount? We're going to a lot of really amazing places. Nadine, could you also do a Sri Chakra process? Yeah, we can do that. It's a 21-day process for abundance. Sure, we can do that. We can do that. We can all use a lot of, Swami initiated a process of abundance to Lakshmi indirectly through her Mother Divine. So we can do it. It's a little bit ahead of schedule, but we can do that as part of the process to create an intention of financial support through the relationship with the Guru Parampara to help manifest this in our lives. But at the same time, Nadine, it's also about changing. What's our consciousness about prosperity? What's our consciousness about poverty? What's our consciousness about spirituality? I mean, are spiritual people supposed to be poor and beggars all their life? I had that concept. I said that if you make money, you must be a bad person. So of course I always used to self-sabotage, and I had to change my whole concept and belief system about abundance. And now my whole concept and relationship with money has changed and transformed. This is part of the transformational process as well. Swami said it takes 1 second to make you rich. He manifested money for me. It fell out of a book suddenly. See? So put your intention. We have a lot of power, guys. We have the power to make ourselves poor, and we have the power to make ourselves abundant. It depends on where we're stuck at. We have to create, I used to get angry for not having enough money. I used to get so irritable, it's like, why this? And I realized, like, wow, I'm creating a lot of negative vibrations around the concept of abundance and prosperity. I said, I need to just find out the value of that in my life because it allows me to help people. And I had to shift my whole experience of it. And it took a while. It took a while to really shift that in my life. But it happened. And now it's like I'm creating all the time. And it's so satisfying to see when you have the right intention and the positive context to hold your intention in. It really has, the universe wants to cooperate with us. The divine wants to cooperate with us. Baba wants to have you guys come to India. That's why you're on the phone call. It's like, it's not because of my marketing skills, that's for sure. Okay, any other questions, guys? Yes, Spiro.
Obviously, I would love to come to this journey. I have been looking forward for so many years now. Last time it did not work out, so that's what happened. This time I'm not gonna buy the ticket, before, because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Regarding finance. Till now, I did not get any work, but still I'm working on that. So I hope things will work out for me, and I hope support will come from Baba and Swami. So that's how I see it.
I suggest everyone just take a step and make a commitment. And, you can even put a minimal amount as a deposit, and then we'll start a group, because I know this is going to happen. And whatever amount you guys feel comfortable as your initial deposit, just send it with a letter saying, I'm committed to coming to this program and this is my commitment, and then you set it into motion, whatever amount you feel comfortable, you just send me a message directly and we'll work it out, because it will happen once you take that step towards Baba. I mean, Shirdi Sai Baba I've seen miracles happen with him, which blew my mind. But it's getting that first step to take that step. Just put that thought out of your mind. Say, this is my commitment, boom. And then build on that. It's not about the money, it's about the process. Get the ball rolling. That's the key thing, because if you're in your head about it, it just becomes thoughts, and you'll never get anywhere like that. Whether or not you want to be there. And if you want to be there, you just put it down. It's kind of like, boom, that's it. I'm going to do this, do or die. You're putting your stake in the ground with the divine, saying, I want to come to India. I want to touch the land in Penakonda. I want to go to Tirupati. I need to go to Shirdi. I mean, the reason why we're doing 4 or 5 days in Shirdi is because every day is jam-packed. You will not sleep, by the way. You will not sleep a lot. And if you do, it's because you're going into a deep, deep, deep meditation. Trust me, guys. I've done so many of these trips. They are miraculous. And the vibrations in India, it's completely different vibrations. I know a lot of you have been to India, but go on this trip and you'll see pretty amazing stuff happen. All right, so if there are no other, okay, Nadine had a question. She says, I understand mechanism, asking and allowing Baba and do mantras. It's working, but only with affirmative thinking. I had to success like that, like thinking I am rich. What about you? Yeah, it's about changing the whole way you look at life. My life is a spiritual journey and adventure. And Baba seems to have, I'm like a tour guide a little bit, It's kind of like, okay, let's get on the bus now. Let's go to Tirupati. Okay, let's go to Kalahasti, and just kind of like, just getting people there is the difficult part. Once you're there, the energy just takes charge. And the energy there is pretty spectacular. And every day we will be going to power spots, Shirdi. I'm not going to even say anything about where we're going in Shirdi. We'll just leave that as a surprise. But you will not sleep. We'll be getting up at 3:30 in the mornings for morning Abhishek in Shirdi for sure, at least a couple times. We'll be spending night meditations in the Dwarkamai, because Dwarkamai is open 24 hours. So we'll go in there. We'll have special meditations, and let's see what Baba has in store for us. I think Shirdi Sai Baba is calling us for sure. For sure. All right. Any other burning questions? Okay. Well, then I'm going to thank you guys for coming on this call. You know how to get a hold of me. If it's okay with all you guys, I'm going to post this on my website, because it'll also give inspiration for other people who weren't on this call to find out a little bit about, what's in store for this journey. So if you want to go back and re-listen to that, it'll be there as well. So thanks for taking the step out and being here and taking the time out of your busy holiday season. I thank you, and I pray that you're all stay healthy and well. And I look forward to you guys on this trip if it's meant to be, and if the divine wants you to be there, it'll be very exciting. So God bless. Take care. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. God bless, guys. See you soon.